Full military name.
Colonel Scott Casey Bladen.
And your ID number at the time that you entered the military. What was your...
55691907.
And what was on your entry papers as what operations that you were involved in?
When I first went in, I was the 7th Army.
The 7 steps to what?
7 steps to hell.
Okay, do you believe that's what you've been through all these last 40 years?
No.
What do you believe you've been in?
The Special Forces.
All right, you were in Special Forces. Start from 1961 and tell me where you went from.
1961, I was sent to Vietnam in the middle of 1961. One of my first ops was going into China.
And what was your rank when you first went in, sir?
Lieutenant. Well, when I first went in, I was a PFC, but then that was changed
when you went to what? Battle?
When I went into Vietnam.
Combat. You had combat what? You were combat recognized for, what is the terminology for battlefield commission, sir?
Right.
So you had a battlefield commission in Vietnam. Do you know who gave you that battlefield commission?
No, I don't. I do not know who gave that to me, except I have an idea it was with John F. Kennedy.
Okay, so President John F. Kennedy gave you that.
That was attached.
At any time during the Vietnam War, were you sent to protect the Kennedys?
Yes.
Was that prior or after?
That was prior to the time.
Prior to that, you were with the Kennedys, and how did you obtain that position, sir?
Well, that was just a part of the special ops that I was involved in.
And do you have any information about the Kennedy assassination that people should know about? What would that be, sir?
Who was it assassinated and who it was?
Who do you think assassinated him, sir?
The CIA.
The CIA. What leads you to believe that the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States...
That tried the first time. They tried to assassinate him 4 times.
The
fourth time he was killed.
At any of those times, did you rescue the president or any of his family members? Did. Where was that at?
In the Oval Office.
And what year was that in, sir?
That was, it was the same year he was killed in the 64.
Were you having to protect not only him but his family?
Oh yeah.
Did you protect his family or any member of his family on a beach from a supposed boat attack? An alleged boat attack that was on a beach. The gunmen come in. This is something that you've said to us prior to this interview. Or was that just something that you thought had happened?
Well, yeah, it happened. I'm not familiar with all the details.
Your memory is kind of vague about it.
Right.
Okay, let's get back to Vietnam. Were there a lot of Chinese and Russians there?
Oh, they were all over the place.
And did you engage the enemy?
Constantly.
Were you in any type of position to fly any aircrafts in Vietnam?
Yeah, quite a few times.
Did you engage any celebrities there?
Yes, I did. It was Robert Downing Sr.
And was there anyone named Chris Christopherson anywhere near?
Definitely was. He was my close friend.
And he was where, sir?
He was in the same, we flew in the same team together.
And was that part of the Germany training that you went through with him?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. And so now we're back at Vietnam again, and we're with Robert Downing Sr. And what operative did you go on him? What operation?
We basically just flew on different operations together. It was...
were you captured at all by the Vietnamese or the Chinese?
I spent 6 weeks in a POW camp. And
how did you escape?
Well, the Chinese haven't forgotten that. Neither has Colonel Al Tran.
And what happened?
There was nobody left.
Give us more details so other Vietnam veterans that possibly could be there would know this.
A man by the name of Tabby, we nicknamed him Tabby, and I can't remember his actual name. It's been too many years ago, but John Morganfield was another one of my close friends, and he was there with me, Tabby and Johnny both. And Johnny...
What did you do to escape?
That's what I was about to tell. Johnny was on the table. He was being tortured. He had just had certain parts of his body cut off, And his eye left, one of his eyes was cut out, one of his arms was cut off, and
I know this must choke you up a little bit, sir, so take a deep breath and just vaguely tell us how you escaped the Chinese.
It was while we was in that interrogation room there that Johnny, they was cutting his arm off. And
where were you, sir? Were you hung?
I was hanging from the ceiling by my arms.
Okay, and what were they using to, any devices on you? Did they put any probes in any areas?
They was constantly putting needles into you everywhere, and other things that they did, which one of the things they done was to take and hang you by a tripod over a cesspool and lower you into it with all kinds of
rats and stuff.
Well, it was
poop.
Yeah, that and leeches and everything else in it.
Well, how did you escape, sir?
Anyway, while I was in that interrogation room there, why, Johnny started screaming, "Help me, they're killing me."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, anyway, he was hollering for help.
And you did what?
That's when I told him, I says, "Johnny," I says, "that's all they'll get off of you."
Okay.
And they thought that they was going to put me on that table too. And they started letting me down from the ceiling. When they did, my feet hit that floor, and that's when I killed the officer that was standing right in front of me. I killed him. Now,
were there Russian there?
No, not that was Chinese that was in that interrogation.
Mm-hmm. Are they the ones that had the little red star on their hat, possibly, or on their shirt?
Oh yeah. Anyway.
So you took care of the Chinese there, and then you went further on. What did you do in Vietnam? What are some of the other things that might jog the memory of some of the men that
we had to take and go into?
They'll be seeing this tape.
We had to go into Cambodia to locate a certain colonel that went into Cambodia under. Well, he was hiding in Cambodia there. He had a few problems.
And you were in charge of this epic?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Operation.
Anyway.
What else can you tell us about your Vietnam experience?
Then I was involved in an operation going up into China when there was a platoon of our Green Berets, or part of the Green Berets, and other soldiers that escaped from a POW camp in Laos. And the team and I had heard the call come over the radio to leave them and forget them. They were dispensable.
Yeah.
And I told the commandant at the base, I says, "Well, I'm not leaving them there." I said, "They deserve to go home too."
And at the time, what was your rank?
I believe at that time I was either a major or I believe I was a major at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
So that was a few years later that you went from the lieutenant to, you moved through the ranks and had battlefield commissions.
Right.
And you made it to major, and you went to China, and you helped free some special forces, and you come back. Do you know any of the men that you freed? Do you know their names? Any of their nicknames?
I've got their names on record in my room. I don't have them with me.